Welcome students. Today in this video we will talk about eigenvalues and eigenvectors of matrix, and we'll see how to find these eigenvalues and eigenvectors. Okay, so for simplicity we will take only a 2 by 2 matrix and we will find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of 2 by 2 matrix. For 3 by 3 matrix you can work on it. Okay, same procedure will apply. So first let us define what is eigenvalue and eigenvector for n by n matrix. So let me write it as a definition. Eigen, E-I-G-E-N, eigenvalue and eigenvector. Eigenvector. Okay. Now for n by n matrix, so let us take a n by n matrix. So let A be n by n matrix. Let capital A be n by n matrix. Okay. The scalar, some number, it may be real or complex, lambda, the scalar lambda is called eigenvalue of A, of matrix A, if there is a non-zero vector, say x, such that we have Ax is equals to lambda times x. Okay, this is important. This equation is important. So we have a non-zero vector such that Ax equals to lambda x. You can see what will be the dimension, because A is an n by n matrix, right? And then what will be the dimension of this x? Of course, it's a column vector. Okay, x is a column vector. This lambda is a scalar, and again we have a column vector here. So we can think about the dimension of this column vector. Okay, now we have this lambda as a eigenvalue. We call this lambda as eigenvalue, and remember this is also important, non-zero, because if we allow that x to be 0, then that will be satisfied for all the values of lambda, because a into 0 will be equals to 0, right? So we insist that this x has to be a non-zero vector, and this non-zero vector x, so the vector x, this x is called an eigenvector of A corresponding to lambda. Okay, this x, a non-zero vector x, is called the eigenvector corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda. Okay, now one thing, if we have this non-zero vector, let us see some small results, and then we'll go for the application part of this, how to find the eigenvalues. Okay, now if this x is non-zero vector, which is an eigenvector corresponding to eigenvalue lambda, then if we have any scalar, non-zero scalar, if you multiply to this equation, you will again get the eigenvector. So a scalar multiple of eigenvector again is the eigenvector for the same corresponding value of lambda, eigenvalue lambda. Okay, what I mean to say is, if we have this lambda is the eigenvalue and x is the eigenvector, then we will have the equation Ax equals to lambda x. To this equation I will multiply some scalar, say c, which is non-zero. We will not allow 0 to be inside, and this, since it's a scalar, we can write this as A Cx is equals to lambda Cx. And in this case also we have a non-zero vector which will satisfy the given equation. Okay, this will satisfy A into some vector, non-zero vector, is equals to lambda into same vector. So if x is an eigenvector, then a scalar multiple of x, that is c into x, c is non-zero, is also the eigenvector. Okay, and if you have studied about the vector spaces and subspaces, if you take vector spaces and subspaces, then suppose we have a vector space V. Let me just give you a brief introduction of it. So if we have a vector space V and we have lambda, which is the eigenvalue, then we take a subspace, say V lambda, is to be set of all the vectors in the vector space V such that this Ax is equals to lambda x. Okay, you take all those eigenvectors. So this set will form a subspace, but not always. As a set, as of this set will not be a subspace, but you need to put something extra. Okay, let me just keep this as it is, because I don't know whether you have studied subspaces, vector spaces. So what I'm saying is, this is a subspace provided you have to do something extra to this, and that subspace is called the eigenspace. Okay, but as it is, this will not be the subspace. Okay, check why. This is not subspace. Why? You can answer this provided you have studied linear algebra and some criteria for subspaces. Okay, if you have studied, then you can go through that and you can answer yourself. You can message me if you have the answer of that. Alright, so this is how we define our eigenvalue and eigenvector. This scalar lambda is the eigenvalue of A if there exists a non-zero vector x such that Ax equals to lambda x. Okay, so the thing is how to get this eigenvalue and eigenvector. Okay, so let me come back to this. Now what we have a vector, non-zero vector, unknown, and we have an equation Ax is equals to lambda x. Okay, let me write bar to that. Now we need to find that x and that lambda is called eigenvalue. Now if you say this, we can write this equation as Ax minus lambda x equals to 0. Okay, and as a matrix, you can take that x outside that side and you can write this as A minus lambda x bar equals to 0. And as it is, this is not the proper equation. As it is, this is not the proper equation, because lambda is a scalar, A is a matrix. You cannot subtract a scalar from a matrix. So we will take identity here. And then this equation we will get from here. Okay. So A minus lambda I into x bar equals to 0. Now remember, this x bar is a unknown vector. It may be like you have, say, x1, x2, x3, something like this. If A is 3 by 3 matrix, then our x bar will be this x1, x2, x3 unknowns. Alright, so this is a homogeneous system. If you have studied the system of equation, this is the homogeneous system. Okay, now this homogeneous system has a solution, has a non-zero solution, because 0 is always the solution of this equation, right? 0 is always the solution of this system. So this system has a non-zero solution provided the determinant of the coefficient matrix is 0. So this has non-zero solution. That means we are finding the value of vector x bar, which is non-zero. Solution if determinant of A minus lambda I is equals to 0. So we know what is A, we know how to get this determinant, put that equals to 0, and then we will find the values of lambda. Okay, so this equation is called characteristic equation. This equation is called characteristic equation. And the polynomial, so let me put it for your information. The polynomial, say, let us write p lambda, because A is all the values of A are constants, P lambda is equals to determinant of A minus lambda I is called characteristic polynomial. Okay, so this is called characteristic polynomial. When you put that equals to 0, you will get an equation. Okay, the equation P lambda equals to 0, that is determinant of A minus lambda I equals to 0 is called characteristic equation. And the roots of this characteristic equation are the eigenvalues. The roots of characteristic equation are called characteristic roots, or eigenvalues. Okay, and then for particular value of lambda, that is eigenvalue, we will solve the system, we will get the value of x bar, and that will be the eigenvector corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda. Okay, so the thing is how to get these eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So let me demonstrate this or show this by using one example. Okay, so let us find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of a matrix. Say example, understand? If you have any problem, you can contact me. They find the eigenvalue, and eigenvector, and say corresponding eigenvector of, let us take 2 by 2 matrix. Say A is equals to determinant of 2, minus 12, 1 and minus 5. So things which you need here is how to get the roots of some polynomial, one, and second, how to solve a system of equation. So if you know these two, then you can find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors. Okay, so let us solve this. Solution. Understand how we get this. So first we need to find the characteristic equation. Okay, the characteristic equation is given by let me show you back. The characteristic equation is given by determinant of A minus lambda. This is not modulus, remember that. Okay, A is a matrix, so this is a determinant. So determinant of A minus lambda I is equals to 0. Determinant of A minus lambda I is equals to 0. Of course, you should know how to add, subtract, multiply matrices. That is very important, and we will assume that you know all these things. So the equation, the characteristic equation of this matrix is given by A minus lambda I is equals to 0. Okay, let us put these values. This implies, first, what is A minus lambda I? Okay, let me write. We have determinant of, let me write somewhere here for your understanding. We have A, which is 2, minus 12, 1, minus 5, minus lambda times I is the identity matrix, so 1 0 0 1. So this will be equals to 2 minus 12, 1, minus 5, minus, you multiply the scalar inside the matrix, so this will be lambda 0, 0 and lambda, and then to subtract two matrices you subtract the corresponding entries. So this will become 2 minus lambda, minus 12 minus 0 is minus 12, 1 minus 0 is 1, and minus 5 minus lambda. This is our matrix A minus lambda I. And then we need to find the determinant of this matrix. So we have determinant of 2 minus lambda, minus 12, 1 and minus 5 minus lambda. This is equals to 0. And as we know how to find determinant, this is 2 by 2 matrix. So we need to find the determinant of this 2 by 2 matrix. So this will imply this entry into this entry you multiply, and this entry multiply and then subtract it. So this will imply 2 minus lambda into minus 5 minus lambda, minus by default 1 minus 1 into minus 12 is minus 12 equals to 0. So this will be equals to 2 minus sign, I will take it outside from this bracket, 2 minus lambda into 5 plus lambda plus 12 equals to 0. Let us open the bracket and get some equation in lambda. This is 2 into 5, 10. So minus 10 plus 2 into lambda, 2 lambda, minus 5 lambda minus lambda square plus 12 equals to 0, and this will give us, multiply this minus sign inside, so minus into minus plus lambda square, this is 2 lambda minus 5 lambda, so minus 3 lambda, minus becomes plus 3 lambda, and this becomes minus 10 plus 12, so this becomes plus 2 equals to 0. So as we said, this is the equation in lambda. Okay, if you write this P lambda is equals to lambda square plus 3 lambda plus 2, then this will be our characteristic polynomial. Right now we have this quadratic equation, and we know how to find the roots of the quadratic equation. Okay, so you may use the quadratic formula, you can use the splitting of middle terms or any other methods, any other things what you have. So for this you can use the quadratic formula which is given by, let me tell you your information. If we have ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0 as a quadratic equation, then the roots of this quadratic equation are given by, we will have two roots because it's a second degree polynomial, right? Second degree equation. So this will have two roots. So first and second root, directly we will have this minus p plus or minus square root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Okay, a, b, c. A is the coefficient of x square, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant term. So one root we will get by taking plus sign here, and the second root we will get by taking minus sign here. This is one way. Second way, you can use your standard way and split the middle term. Okay, this is one formula. This you can find the roots by using this formula also. Okay, so in this case also, this is 2 into 1 is 2. You need to split this 2 such that their product is 2 and their addition is 3. So the factors are 2 are precisely 2 into 1. So 2 into 1 is 2 and 2 plus 1 is 3. So we can split the middle term as lambda square plus 2 lambda plus lambda plus 2 equals to 0. Right? We have splitted this middle term. So 2 lambda plus lambda is 3 lambda. So by taking common terms, we can write this as, we can take lambda common from here. So when you take lambda common, we will have lambda plus 2 plus lambda plus 2 equals to 0. From this bracket also we can take that common, and this will imply lambda plus 2. We can take common from this and this term, and what remains is lambda here and plus 1 here is equals to 0. Now here we have product of two terms is equals to 0. This implies either lambda plus 2 is equals to 0 or lambda plus 1 equals to 0. So because there are two numbers whose product is 0, that means either this is 0 or this is 0. Remember what what I have written here, I have written or, because this can be 0 or this can be 0, right? If I end here A and D, then it will be something different. And means this has to be 0 and this also has to be 0, but that is not the case here. So if lambda plus 2 is equals to 0 implies lambda is equals to minus 2, or lambda plus 1 equals to 0 implies lambda equals to minus 1. So in this case, if you put lambda is equals to minus 2, this lambda minus 2 plus 2 this 0, and this will be minus 1. 0 into minus 1 again 0. And if you put lambda equals to minus 1, this will be 1 and this will be 0. So product will be 0. And hence, therefore, we have, so let us take lambda 1 is equals to minus 2 and lambda suffix 2 is equals to minus 1 are the eigenvalues. Okay, these are the eigenvalues. So we need to find the corresponding eigenvectors. Okay, so let us take first lambda equals to minus 2 and then get the corresponding eigenvector. And for that, these are the eigenvalues. So let's change now to find eigenvector. Let us take lambda is equals to lambda 1 equals to minus 2. For lambda 1 is equals to minus 2. Okay, now we need to find that vector x bar which is non-zero such that a x bar is equals to lambda x bar. Okay. Now for that, what we have here, so for lambda equals to minus 2, let us take eigenvector to be x1, x2 and x1 and x2, because we have 2 by 2 matrix here. So let x bar is equals to x1 comma x2 be the eigenvector. We need to find the value of x bar, that is, we need to find the value of x1 and x2. These are the scalar numbers. Okay, we need to find this value of x1 and x2. So if this is the eigenvector, what we have, this implies a x bar is equals to lambda 1 x bar. So let us write this. This implies a, what is a? A is 2 minus 12. Let me check. We have 2 minus 12, 1 minus 5. So 2 minus 12, 1 minus 5 into x, which is a column vector, x1, x2 is equals to lambda 1 is minus 2 and again x bar is x1, x2. This is our equation. Now let us multiply this. I am doing this because this is the first problem. We can do straight away by taking a minus lambda I times x bar equals to 0. Okay. Now in this case, what we have, we multiply this. So again, this is 2 by 2 matrix. This is 2 by 2 matrix, and this is 2 by 1 matrix. So resultant will be, this is cancels out, and 2 into 1. So resultant is 2 by 1 matrix. 2 into x1. So 2x1 minus 12 x2. Here it becomes 1x1. So x1 minus 5 into x2. So this is 2 rows, single column, equals to minus 2 x1 minus 2 x2. Okay. Now two matrices are same provided their corresponding entries are same. So this implies what we'll have is 2x1 minus 12x2 is equals to minus 2x1, first equation, and then we'll have x1 minus 5x2 is equals to minus 2x2. Okay, this implies we will have take all the terms together. So minus 2x1, this minus becomes plus if you take this side, so it becomes 4x1 minus 12x2 is equals to 0, first equation, and this becomes x1 minus 5 plus 2, so it becomes minus 3x2 is equals to 0. This is our equation number 1 and this is our equation number 2. We need to solve this equation 1 and 2 simultaneously by using any method what we have. We have seen Gaussian elimination method last time. Okay, we have seen we know the elimination method straight away what we have learned in earlier classes. Okay, use any method, try to solve this system of equations. If you have 3 by 3 matrix, if you have 3 equations, 3 unknowns, then better to go for Gaussian elimination to make our process simpler. Okay, but for the time being, let us try to eliminate this. Okay, so rather than going to the matrices, we will directly go for the elimination process. So let us make the coefficient of say x1 same. The coefficient of this equation is for x1 in this equation is 4. Here we have x1. So multiply this equation by 4 throughout. So that will imply we will add two equations, 4x1 minus 12x2 equals to 0. When you multiply, it becomes 4x1 minus 4 into 2, 12 x2 is equals to 0. And if you see, both the equations are same. Right? 4x1 minus 12x2 is equals to 0. Both the equations are same. And then as we know the different cases, as we have seen in the last videos, these two equations represents two straight lines in xy plane. And in this case, both the lines are same, that means they are coinciding. And hence we will have infinitely many solutions in that case. So this implies we have 4x1 is equals to, or 4x1 minus 12x2 is equals to 0. This implies x1 will be equals to 12x2 by 4, and that will imply x1 is equals to 3x2. Okay, so let x1 is equals to some t. This will imply, okay, let us take x2 as t. x2 is equals to t. This will imply x1 is equals to 3t, and therefore eigenvector x bar is equals to what we had is x1 x2, and after solving this system we got x1 as 3t and x2 as t. This is we can take this t outside and we can take 3 and 1, and of course this t belongs to real number. T is a real number. T belongs to R, and t not equals to 0, because if t is equals to 0, then this x bar equals to 0, and we will not get anything, because the eigenvector has to be non-zero vector. Okay, so for any value of t you will get a eigenvector. So let us take t, particular value of t. So let t is equals to 1. If you take t is equals to 1, this implies x bar is equals to, it becomes 3 and 1. This is the eigenvector corresponding to eigenvalue lambda is equals to minus 2. Let me again recall what we have done. First, we have the characteristic equation a minus lambda I is equals to 0. Sometimes we can take lambda I minus a is equals to 0 determinant, no problem. Then, okay, let me again tell you what I said. Here we have taken determinant of a minus lambda I equals to 0. We can also take this as determinant of lambda I minus a is equals to 0. It's one and the same. Okay, your calculation won't be affected. Then we got the characteristic equation. From the characteristic equation, we got the eigenvalues, and then we started to find the eigenvectors. For corresponding to lambda 1, we have this x bar as the eigenvector. After solving, we got two equations because it's a 2 by 2 matrix here. We solved this system of two equations, two unknowns simultaneously. We reached here wherein we claim that it has infinitely many solutions. So the particular solutions is x2 is equals to t and x1 is equals to 3t. T is non-zero vector, and hence for t is equals to 1, we got 3 and 1 as the eigenvector, and therefore x bar is equals to 3, 1 is eigenvector corresponding to eigenvalue lambda 1 is equals to minus 2. Okay, same thing we have to do for lambda is equals to minus 1. Correct, second eigenvalue is minus 1. Now next, to find eigenvector corresponding to lambda 2 is equals to minus 1. Okay, same thing we will do. So let me tell you the other way how we get it. So what we have is determinant of A. We have a matrix A minus lambda I, x bar equals to 0. Okay, x bar is again a known vector. Okay, let me put that first here. So let x bar is equals to, again let us say x1 x2. You can take y1 y2 whatever we need, it's just a notation. So x1 x2 be eigenvector. So what does that mean? We will have A x bar is equals to lambda x bar. We have A x bar is equals to lambda 2 x bar. Okay, this will imply we will have A x bar is equals to lambda 2 is equals to minus 1, so minus x bar. This will imply A minus A x bar plus x bar is equals to 0. This is another way what I am showing. This will imply A plus I x bar is equals to 0. Okay, so this will imply what we have is A plus I is the identity matrix, and A we have 2 minus 12 1 minus 5. So this is 2 minus 12 1 minus 5 is A, plus I we know I is 1 0 0 1, this is the matrix, and x bar we know x1 x2 is equals to 0. When you simplify this, just a simple matrix addition, it is 2 plus 1 is 3, then this becomes minus 12, this becomes 1, and this becomes minus 4. Okay, into x1 x2 is equals to 0. And when you multiply directly, we will get two equations here. I'll tell you what is the difference between this. So we'll have 3x1 minus 12x2 is equals to 0, and here we have x1 minus 4x2 is equals to 0. Again, in this case we have same equations. What we do is you multiply this equation by 3. Okay, again we will have same equations here, or you can take 3 common from here. We can multiply, you can take that 3 this side. We will have x1 minus 4x2 is equals to 0. This implies we can use any method what we have. Okay, so we have infinitely many solutions. Okay, what we have equation is, let me write, x1 minus 4x2 is equals to 0. Only one equation we have here. Okay. Sometimes you may have a unique solution and sometimes you may have a no solution, but in this case we have a solution always. Okay. So of course this will imply x1 is equals to 4x2. So let us take x2 is equals to t. This implies x1 becomes 4t, and therefore for x we have, this implies our x bar is nothing but we had x1 comma x2. This is equals to x1 we have taken 4t and this is t. We can take t outside, so this becomes 4 and 1, and this t should be non-zero. If it is 0 then it cannot be eigenvector, and this t belongs to, in particular let us take t is equals to 1. In particular we can take anything, we can take t is equals to 10 also, no problem. In particular for t is equals to 1 we have x bar is equals to 4 and 1, and therefore x bar is equals to 4 1 is eigenvector corresponding to eigen value lambda 2 is equals to -1. Okay, now actually both the processes are same. Here I have first taken this matrix equation and then I have put the values, and in the first process we have taken this matrix equation and put the values and then we simplified. Here first only we put a x bar lambda x bar, we simplified and then we got two equations. And in the second procedure what we have done is we have taken this matrix equation, satisfied, and then we have taken this matrix equation. Okay, ultimately both the procedures are same. In case of 3 by 3 matrix you may have a system of 3 equations in 3 unknowns, and in that case you may have to go for Gaussian elimination method or any other different method. Okay, so let me give some exercises. Solve this. Exercise: find eigenvalues and eigenvectors of, let me give two problems. Say first a is equals to, let me give 2 by 2 matrix 2 1 5 and -2, and let me take another matrix 2, that to be b is equals to, let me take something like this, 2 1 0 0 2 0 and 0 0 2. This is a special kind of matrix which is called a triangular matrix. Okay, there is something called as upper triangular matrix, lower triangular matrix. Again there is something called as a diagonal matrix. Okay, symmetric, skew symmetric matrices. So you can talk about the eigenvalues of these matrices, symmetric matrix, what is the eigenvalue of skew symmetric matrix, or what is the eigenvalue of nilpotent matrix. All those things you can check the results. Okay, so this is what we have done in this video. We have seen how to find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of a matrix. So solve these these problems. If you have any problem you can contact. You can take more matrices and try to get the values of the eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So stay tuned and be safe. See you in the next video.